Welcome to the Gen X Music Show, where I'm sharing songs, music, artists, bands from the late 80s through 90s in the emo-rock, emo-core rock, art rock genre that you may not have ever even heard of. Anyway, these are my favorites, and I'm Wendy Morrison from the band Mercury 5. And I am sharing these jewels with you because I feel that so much art, especially music, has gone unheard and unvalidated, and doesn't make it any less impactful or meaningful. In fact, some of your most popular artists have been influenced by these bands, and yet nobody even knows that. So that's what I'm here to share. And today I'm focusing on the band Pond from Oregon. I just have to make that distinction because there's a band from Australia now called Pond, but this was back in the early 90s, and Pond was a three-piece. They originated in Juneau, Alaska, and migrated down to the Portland, Oregon scene that was really burgeoning at that time, dominated by Sub Pop, one of the leading indie labels of that time, before, of course, the majors collapsed all the indie labels. But I digress. So Pond consisted of three friends: Charlie Campbell on guitar and vocals, Chris Brady on bass and vocals, and David Triwasser on drums. Anyway, they were together from 91 through 98, and I'll be sharing I'm going to do something different. I had so much trouble trying to decide what song to share with you guys. Their first original self-titled Pond album was amazing. That's what I got turned on to first. And then their follow-up release, The Practice of Joy Before Death. And isn't that so true? Isn't that what art is? The practice of joy before death. Anyway, emo, what do you want? So the second album really, while not changing the sound really at all, of like you recognize that this was Pond, just explored a whole new vein of their architecture, of their sonic architecture, because that's really what they do. And these guys are really, you can tell they're really locked in with each other, probably been friends forever. And I mean, what are you going to do in Juneau, Alaska? Not to put anything down, but snow. Anyway, of course you're going to play music, of course. Anyway, so these guys were really locked in, and I was so privileged to get to see them in Hollywood. And so many different clubs come and go, and I can visualize the club, and I see it as a bunch of different names, and I can't even remember one name it was. But one of the standards in Hollywood, I saw them. They were opening for Girl Scout Cookies, which was tragic because they were far exceeded Girl Scout Cookies. That band was, yeah. They were on drugs. They blew their deal. Anyway, I didn't say that. Okay, so anyway, what I decided to do was kind of shake things up a little bit. Woo, shake it up. And share two cuts with you, one from each album. How about that? So today I'm sharing Pond's song Foamy from the Pond album, and Union from The Practice of Joy Before Death. So buckle in. Get a joint, get some water, whatever you need to sit still for, maybe 15-20 minutes, because you really, really will enjoy. I hope you'll enjoy. If you're watching my show, you'll enjoy, because we have the same taste in music, obviously. So sit back, enjoy, and here we go. Pond.
Feel it rev.
funny than a postcard. No one could make guessing you were. Foamy dresser. To the girls that rather hurt. All the men still coming down. Rug them all, kiss her photograph. Foamy's not downtown. She's wide open across the plains. Eyes like Pharaohs, black and white. Foamy's gone on vacation. She's waving us goodbye. Foamy's taking her Harley. She's kissing us goodbye. We drive. Eyes like Pharaohs, black and white. Foamy's gone on vacation. She's waving us goodbye. Foamy's taking the Harley. She's kissing us goodbye. I wish you would cry. The color of your arms is lighter underneath. Side of the barn where no one goes. Welcoming weeds. Hold out your arms. You got a package. The baby in the cornfield sent to you. I helped him wrap it. He came down, just inhale the breath to blow him out. In this life I can't describe. Let's begin. Digging nails into the car seat. Side of the highway, guardrails grow. Welcoming winds, breaking your runs. You're needing ivy. It rolls over that way, losing your teeth where they lay. Bodies aren't made been that way. In this line, I can't describe you. Let's become true. I loved you.
So what'd you think? Did you make it through? I hope you did. Yeah, I highly suggest, and I will obviously, as usual, leave links in the description. I highly suggest you check out both entire albums because they're stellar. Anyway, and if you like that content, if you like this content, if you like these songs and art and music, you're probably a musician if you like these songs. and if you aren't a musician, then you have really, really good taste. So, yeah, it doesn't surprise me because that's the way all the people I know are. Anyway, then I highly suggest you subscribe so you can enjoy checking out this stuff and seeing what crazy shit I'm saying. Excuse my French. Because that's why I'm here. I want to share this stuff and get it out in the ether, since these are my experiences, and I've been around the block a little bit, and think I have a little bit to offer in terms of all of the before mentioned. So anyway, and so subscribe if you liked this episode. Please go ahead and check that like button, because it does help the channel to grow and, you know, get the validation of YouTube. But I do appreciate it. And most importantly, please leave a comment, because again, this is about your reaction. This is about what you're thinking after hearing this music, these artists that you may not have ever heard of, and that turns me on. And then we can have dialogue and other people chime in, and that's where community is built. So I appreciate all your comments. I appreciate your being with me. Thank you for loving music and loving rock music, and I hope to see you again soon. Rock on.